Hello everyone, welcome to Lucid Mates. Today, let us look into the details regarding the CAG report on Rafael Deal, which was recently tabled in the Parliament. On the last day of the winter session, the CAG report on the €7.78 billion Rafael Deal was tabled before the Parliament. This report was primarily aimed to assess if the objectives of the Indo-French joint statement and the objectives set out for the Indian negotiation team by Defence Acquisition Council were achieved. To have a better idea about the Rafale jets and the Supreme Court judgment in this regard, aspirants may refer to video number 53 of Lucid Mates program. So, before we look into details of the report, let us take a look at what the Rafale deal actually is. Since the 2000s, Indian Air Force has been facing a reduction in its squadron strength. The strength has reduced to around 32 squadrons against its authorized level of 42. So, in order to substitute its aging fleet, India initiated the process called Medium Multi-Role Combat Aircraft Competition or MMRCA for purchasing medium-sized aircrafts. Through this competition, the Rafale was chosen in 2012 over rival offers. Now, the original plan in 2012 was that India would buy 18 off-the-shelf jets with another 108 being assembled in India by the state-run Hindustan Aeronautics Limited or HAL. But later, the Modi-led BJP government pulled back from this, saying that the twin jet planes would be too expensive for the government. However, faced with the dipping number of fighters and a pressing need to upgrade the Indian Air Force, the government in 2016 decided to buy 36 ready-to-fly fighters instead of trying to acquire technology from Dassault and make it in India. So, in September 2016, India signed an intergovernmental agreement with France dubbed as the Rafael Deal, through which India bought 36 Rafales for an estimated price of 58,000 crore rupees or 7.8 billion euros. As per the deal, besides the fighters, India will also get spares and weaponry such as the Meteor and Scalp missiles, which are considered among the most advanced in the world. Additionally, an accompanying offset clause was also sealed, through which France will invest 30% of the 7.8 billion euros in India's military aeronautics research programs and 20% into local production of Rafale components. As per the deal, the aircraft are to be delivered between 2019 and 2022. Now, let us look into the findings of the CAG. To make an effective comparison, the CAG created an aligned cost criteria. In this, the CAG has compared the present deal of 36 Rafales with the price bid of 126 Rafale jets made in 2012 by converting it into an equivalent cost for 36 aircrafts in 2016. Based on this aligned cost, the CAG has broadly stated that the present deal is 2.86% cheaper than the 2012 deal. The CAG has also made a note of the lack of banking and performance guarantees in the deal. These guarantees are generally given by a winning company in a standard commercial contract. However, such a guarantee has been done away in the 2016 deal. Here, the CAG has viewed that the benefit of doing so has not been transferred to India. The CAG essentially says that the final price agreed to by the Indian side should have been lower as the banking charges have been waived off. Another notable finding of the CAG is regarding the delivery period of the aircrafts. The report states that while 36 Rafale aircrafts in the older deal would be available to the Indian Air Force in 72 months, the same would be available under the 2016 contracts in 71 months, thus making a saving of 1 month. Another finding of the CAG is regarding the maximum savings. The report assessed the maximum savings of 17.08% in the cost of India-specific enhancements or ISE. The India-specific enhancements are alterations like high-altitude takeoff capability that will be made into the jets to suit Indian conditions. On other issues, the CAG said that the basic price of the aircraft was similar in both the deals being negotiated. However, the question of 50% offsets in the deal has not been dealt by the CAG in this report. It will form a part of the separate report by the CAG on offsets in all the deals. Now, even as the report shines light into economic aspects of the deal, there are still many questions regarding the Rafael deal that remains unanswered. The first in this regard is the price controversy itself. In most of the previous defense acquisitions, the decision on price are taken by the Defense Ministry. However, in the Rafael deal of 2016, the final price to opt for a formula that delivered a higher benchmark price was taken not by the Defense Ministry but by the Cabinet Committee for Security. Such a course of action has not been followed in the past defense capital acquisitions. The CAG has, however, not examined, and hence the matter remains puzzling. The next question is whether the procedures for the deal were followed correctly. Strictly speaking, the 36 aircraft deal was a new contract, so it should have gone through a number of mandatory procedures, beginning with a statement of case by the Indian Air Force. But this appears to have been skipped. But neither the CAG nor the recent court verdict has looked into this issue. Another controversy was regarding the exclusion of HAL from the present deal. In the earlier deal, HAL was roped in to make 108 jets in India in collaboration with Dassault. However, the present deal makes no mention in this regard. One reason put forth by the government was that HAL has been an obstacle in clearing the larger 126 jet contract. But no such evidence for the same has been submitted to the government. The lack of sovereign bond is another issue that the CAG has not looked into. A sovereign guarantee is a legal obligation placed upon the country selling military equipments or aircrafts. It is a reassurance that is commonly found in defense contracts that are signed between governments. But in the Rafael deal, no such guarantee has been signed. Without a sovereign guarantee, either party can break the promise and go their different ways. Since the deal is based on public fund, lack of sovereign guarantee can cause harm to the nation in case of any disputes. Unfortunately, the CAG has neither looked into this issue. Now, choosing a private player as the offset partner of Dassault has been the biggest controversy related to the Rafael deal. Many have questioned the choice of a newly formed company as the offset partner, but this report of the CAG has not looked into the issue. It is expected that the CAG will publish a report later in this regard. Another critical issue missed by the CAG is on the question of why India was dropped as the seat of arbitration. By dropping this demand, resolving any dispute will become highly complicated, as India may be forced to reach French arbitrators. But so far, no reasons have been provided for this action by the government, nor has the CAG looked into it. Now, let us summarize what we have discussed so far. Even after the CAG report, there remains many unverified claims and unanswered questions like those regarding the choice of offset partners. These questions are challenging the credibility of our system and the people's trust in its capacity to tackle cases of high-level corruption. Also, India has a long history of delays and controversies in military acquisitions. So, there needs to be a robust and reliable procedures and overview mechanism in place to ensure smooth acquisitions in the future. One should always remember that the final casualty in the controversy is national security. Based on today's calculations, the IAF's squadron strength will drop to 23 by 2032 unless there is fresh acquisition beyond the 36 Rafales and 123 Tejas aircrafts. Hence, India cannot afford any more delays in its defense capital acquisitions. So, measures must be initiated to overcome the blockade that has plagued India's defense capital acquisitions. In this regard, the draft defense procurement policy of 2018 offers promising potential as it encourages indigenization as well as transparency in the acquisition process.